for the young and next generation. I'm saying let's do the work. If I ask you to read 5 books in a month, read the 5 books for the kids. And let's come together and let's have a decision and let's figure out what we're going to do. And let's put your ego to the side and say, hey, maybe my opinion didn't win out. But for the betterment of the people, this is what we all decided on, and this is how we moving. And if 19 Keys got a bigger profile than Goo is over here worried about electronics and soldering, and I'm going to teach you about atoms.
Hey,
and I'm gonna teach you
is
about
a whole legend, man. Hey, down to the guru.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey,
that
so
we
Guru,
got to move as a people. Whoever can get the message out, get the message out. And if we got to we have to go to Washington and we have to get this legislation done. I don't care who get it done. It ain't about me.
Guru. Yeah, and I don't want to glance over this, right? Because with 19, what you're saying is right. And we met in Rand's studio and we had a similar conversation not too long ago, maybe a couple months ago, right? And I was listening to y'all soaking up game even then. But like at the end of the day, what he's saying is accurate. And young guys like myself, we've been feeling like this for years. We've been having these conversations internally, like he said, in silos for years. But at the end of the day, you're attached to very influential individuals. So is Timbaland, so is 19, so is myself. If we're not actually trying to create this council, then we just having conversations.
No, and that's what I'm telling you, bro.
These separate conversations are not creating change. They're
not. You know why? Let me tell you. Let me keep that going.
I challenge us to try to actually manufacture this.
Yes.
This concept, we need to try to manufacture this.
You building on what I'm talking about. You know why? Because we go to these conferences and we sit in these conferences and people give great speeches. I'm sorry. I got to say it the way I feel. I don't give a fuck about your speech, bro. Because we sit in these conferences and we don't do shit. It's really about after the conference. What are we building? You understand what I'm saying? So I can hear the inspiration. I'm 51 years old. I've been hearing these inspirational speeches since I was 12 years old.
Exactly.
What are we doing? What's the movement? So after the speech, after the conference, after all of these little things that we get together and talk and everybody want to sound and no, what's the movement? Put it together. I'm willing to put my life on the line for this shit. That's what I'm talking about. And then I also am like, fuck the internet when they coming at Tim and all. I understand it's clickbait. I don't make money off of what I put up on the internet. I don't. I make money from the love of the people for what I produce. And I refuse to let you go at my brother and be like, yo, fuck Tim and fuck this and that. No, it ain't fuck Tim. It's just me saying to Tim like, yo, I disagree with what you talking about. So me and Tim can have a conversation. The same way that me and my homeboy can have a conversation. You see what I'm saying? But we need to present a unified front of understanding, of information. We've already done the research. We've already come in here and argued about it. And this is what we're doing. The same way 19 Keys said, we're not begging or asking, we telling. This is what we want.
When we're together, when we're together.
That's what I'm on right now.
You can tell when you're together. When the message is clear across the boundaries, you can tell. But when it's divided, you can't. It's just whispers at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
And forget my passion and my loud talking because that's how I feel right now. Right. I've been going to conferences too long where people go, yo, we need this. That's the populism I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But you know what, Guru? There's a lot of people not willing to put action behind it. So there's multiple pieces. There's a person that like rallies the people. Then there's the person that is the analyzer that can do the research and the data, right? Then there's a person that can like organize the information into frameworks. Then there's the executors. Then there's the financiers, right? And so what typically happens is, you know, within our culture, everybody wants to be on the stage and compete with the one who's giving the information when they're probably better behind the scenes, making sure that this get through the right channels and get through the right protocols to execute. So for me, it's like, because when I listen to you, I don't think there's anything wrong with the lectures per se, because I think you turned out amazingly well, and you've been listening to that good inspiration for a minute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, but let me say,
but to that point though, I'm just saying it like this though.
I'm the executor.
Again,
to the financiers.
Yes, sir. And what I mean is that the problem with culture is that people always say we don't have culture sometimes, and I tell them don't say that. Is culture is consciousness in motion, right? It's complexity that brings it all together. It's our music, it's our media, it's our language, our spirituality, our economics, right? And you can grade each one of those whether they're high or low. You understand me? And the problem is sometimes we have a low culture and it feels like we have no culture. You understand me? But when it comes toward the events and the media that we espouse, right, there's nothing wrong with when there's the positive or the inspiration. The problem is that that doesn't dominate. Therefore, does it turn into action? Because that's usually an outlier, not the normal. So my question becomes, oftentimes you either having a revolution or a renaissance. Revolution means you need an abrupt disruption of things. But a renaissance, right, is a reawakening, right, or curation of more of that thing that's happening. Right? So like with this, we would create a renaissance of these type of conversations because most of them are low-level conversations. So it's not the normalcy. It's just for you and Timbaland, right, and my brother, y'all are having high-level conversations all the time, but the rest of the world are having low-level, low-cognitive conversations, which is why there's not a lot of action behind it. Then you create, behind that, you do the research, right? That would be step 2. We come together, we build, we have somebody that's recording everything. Then they say, okay, what's the wildest idea we could do, right? All right, now how do we get that done? Typically, you go to research groups. They run the data for you to see if this is possible. What could be the flaws in the armor of what we're trying to build? After that, therefore, it makes sure that whatever money you put up, you understand me, it has already been vetted. So it feels like a safer investment, right? So now you ready to go raise all the money in the world because you've done the vetting, you've done the research, and what we usually get stopped at is the research part. Because when we try things, right, we try it just off passion. But it's not based on having that real data. You think Robert Smith, when he wants to get a deal done, he's taking that over to a research firm. You understand me? To vet it out completely, so now it's investable. And so with the coaches, we have these conversations, and then we take it to the next stage, to the data scientists and to the those who are the experts. And then knowing when to play that role of, all right, who do we send out there to get the message across? Maybe we need 19 keys over there to say this. When he say this, I'm going to take this clip and then I'm going to run with it. That's going to spark the conversation. Then I'm going to go to my finances like, look, man, look at what they talking about. This is what's in the culture. This is what everybody talking about right now. You understand? They like, bet. I want to, number one, y'all know like I know, most of them cats be around y'all just want to be cool. And the only way that they can have value is if they're bringing some money into the room. Because otherwise, you look at them as men and say, there's no reason for me to know you. Right? This is how black men typically able to exploit rooms, you feel me, get investment and make execution. The problem is behind the scenes there's not enough organization.
That's my point, is that they exploit you.
So then, you understand what I'm saying? Now, I would say that for us, let's do this behind the scenes as far as we can continue to have the conversations in front, and then behind the scenes is just where all the action happens. But in front, the people need to hear this as well because we need to normalize these conversations also in their social groups.
Yep.
You understand me? And if we're not telling people what we need or what's on our mind, there's somebody right now listening like, man, I can put all that together tonight. You feel me?
But listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. You understand what I say when I say populism? So
100%.
That's like somebody saying, yo, an idea, right?
Yeah,
like,
Donald Trump is a populist president.
We need, yeah, of course. We're not even going to that level because that's, you know what I'm saying, all the way over there. I'm saying to the point of somebody could say, yo, we need free healthcare. We need free breakfast clubs. We need free teaching. We need free education. Okay, we already know that, bro.
And then that's when you do the research to say,
listen
what models work.
I know why the cage bird sings. I'm talking about getting the bird out the cage. I don't need another poem to tell me why the cage bird sings. I know it. I'm about to get to it. And when I get to it, the problem is that everybody want to be on the stage. I don't care about being on the stage. I don't care about if you know my name is there. I'm trying to get the bird out the cage. So when I really talk about that, they worried about being on the next stage. That's my problem. And every time.
Yeah, because I don't think most people are not really trying to make change. So again, either you gonna make it a thing to where people are buying in because it benefits their pockets, or people are doing it because they're passionate about impact. Depends on who you're going to. If you're going to people that's passionate about impact, then they gonna help build because they want to see the results. If people that just want to look like they're doing results so that they can exalt themselves, then yes, they need to be on another stage because They already got everything that they want. They pure capitalists. They don't care about it unless it's going to benefit their image that they can leverage for more money. So you play both sides for however, you understand me, their ego stands. Me, I'm just one of them individuals where it's like, shit, I've been doing this front of the culture for years, right? We do everything organic, we do everything independent, and we finance everything ourselves so far. It's not the best model in the world, you understand me? But it's what we have to do because the way the world currently exists is that everybody is on their individual only. This is now a conversation to say, okay, well, we ain't on that. We want to share resources, access, information, and organization so that we can get to some alignment so that we can start moving together going forward.
Yeah, and I'm saying that I don't care who say it. If it's 19 Keys that bring it, if me and Tim can sit down and go, yo, let's show the culture that me and him had a disagreement about this AI shit. We came together,
yes,
we sat down, and we made a decision, and 19 Keys is the person that gives it to the world. I don't care who delivered the message. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't think the message is even the important part. It's just the overall strategy.
Yeah.
I got the strategy.
Yeah, it's the conversation in general.
Man, we got to make a group chat.
Let me ask you, Timbaland, though, what from this whole entire build and conversation that's being had, you know, from before you got on here till now, you know what I mean? What is the one thing that you took away in perspective?
Is what I, you know, saying like sometimes you gotta sacrifice yourself to start a conversation that people don't want to talk about.
Mm.
So I kind of like through this idea of my creation, and people saw the word record label, which that's not happening. It's not that. They saw artists and they like, damn, you gonna work with an algorithm and make a whole pop star? No. I'm doing something bigger. I just know that people know that I come from music, so you know they know music gonna be a part of that. But no, I'm looking at Journey. I mean Mid Journey, VO3, all these things that came out to allow me to build this creation that I never could do on my own terms and figure out a way to not just build something that's fun, but we got to build corporations like they building corporations. Mm-hmm. And what are we doing with this? Like, what are we going to do? Yeah, we got these tools, but put this way, there's a group of photographers that take pictures, and when AI started coming out with this stuff, they said, you know what, guys, we need to form a company and go get a raise for this company and go outsource these people to do this so we can make infomercials. And I'm saying, like, see, that's how we gonna get left out the picture. Like, these tools are built, yeah, we can go in there and change it, but what are we building on top of them? You understand? Like, we built, like when we started Versus, and which, by the way, is coming back. We started that.
Shout out to Swiss. Shout out to my brother Swiss.
Yeah. So when Versus, we couldn't have the time to go build an app, but what was built for us to go get this idea off so we can go somewhere else. We brought it back. We did tremendous things off of an idea on somebody else's IP to build our own IP. And I think the model of today is, yeah, I'm gonna go in and speak and say what we need, but we need to, as a unit, start building IP, not being the product. We need to be the enterprise. We need to take these tools and build out a whole infrastructure. Whether we hiring the writers complaining in Hollywood, man, I ain't got no right. Well, guess what? We got to use these tools. You see now the Bigfoot Yeti. Those guys are going to build all this content while we sitting here complaining about all this stuff. But these tools are here for us to build.
Mm-hmm.
These tools are us to build our organization on how we see it. Is there a lot of things that got to be changed? Yes, I'm willing to go in there and speak. But what are we going to do in the meantime?
Mm-hmm. What
we gonna build in the meantime? Is it this language model? Is this what are we building on these platforms? Don't tell me I can't build out a world. Y'all just looking at I wouldn't. No, my first love is working with the independent artists. But as me, Timbo, as I'm older now, I'm always fascinated about these technology tools. So I'm like, yo, I will go this way. I will go this way. Now I know there's problems. I know there's this. Right. That's why we up here having this AI talk. But don't condemn my creativity because you don't know what I'm trying to build. I say, yo, we can go hire this director. He going through it, but he can go build this on VO3. You got Flow. All these technology companies I be posting on my page. We need, Black people are the most creative people in the world. And we not building stuff and all we do is gonna complain. but we ain't gonna build nothing on top of this. Come on, bro. Like T Grizzly right now ain't rapping because he figured out a way to build a server on GTA 6. Oh, not 6, but the new GTA, and build out a character and build a gaming world. He's making $50,000 a week. Like, bro, think about that. That could never be imaginable. But he said, you know what? I ain't gonna complain. You can build servers. You can do this. It's a lot of things we can do on top of these tools.
And it's a false thing for me too, Tim, where I'm like, that's supposed to be on the companies that we own. I own Collimation. I own, you know what I'm saying, a company that does 360 AR, VR. You know what I'm saying? But again, it took us to be like on an argument to be like, yo, go own a company that does this? Yeah, I do.
So now I'm going, and you got this, you own this type, but you build something on top. You ain't complaining. You said, God dang it. Why I'm complaining? I'm going to build this on top of that.
Right.
Just in case my thought don't go through. Right. Why I'm goddamn sacrificing myself? Okay, you go sacrifice yourself and don't have nothing?
No, and it's remiss on my part because I got the illest dudes in LA that could build out your AR and your VR.
That's what I've been looking for.
It's not a commercial. It's just
I need to lock in on that.
That's what I've been looking for.
Keys is talking about. Yeah.
Look, because you said something important when you talked about world building. That's what I focus on. I don't like building. I don't market. I don't brand. I world build. And right now, you have the greatest tools to do it. Where at first, only multimillionaires and billionaires and big studio execs could do that.
Yeah.
Right. So now, as the artist, I know a lot of artists. I always say a lot of artists are lazy. I will say that because they put all their creativity into music, and they think that's the end of it. The end is not till somebody is in your world.
Exactly.
Right. But your ability to world build is now a lot less expensive. It requires time and creativity.
Exactly.
So you can build out characters. You can build out the archetype. You can build out the world. You can build out the colors, the LUT, right? The sound engineering to it, right? You can literally build out a whole entire world that is in connection to your music. And the music becomes a ticket to your world. Because the music is no longer being consumed like we did when we had a cassette tape or we had a CD. You would listen to the music walking down the street. You didn't have a phone to distract you. Now the music is background noise, right? So now they can be wearing your clothes, right? They can be taking in your products, right? They watching your videos. They listening to it. It's a soundtrack to the world you're building. Like, that's what I've been working with Rance on is like, as I've been working on that album, and we just been working on what does that world look like that it exists in, right? And you kind of go, what is your favorite movies? What is the nostalgia that you want to bring back? And I think what black people have been starved of is seeing our imagination being fed, right? When we see movies like Sinners, he built a world for us where the music tied us into it. Where you see a show like Forever where it was about black love, but there was no trauma. Incredible show. But think about why that felt so good to us because we've been starved of it.
Yeah. So that's called strategic. 19, stay there. Keep your
Yo, Swiss, check your DMs.
Yes, sir.
That thing of Forever, right? I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, when's the last time that I've seen a show?
Swiss, check the DM. Check the DM. Swiss coming in here.
Oh, bring my brother in. Yeah, bring my brother in. But 19, I was saying, when's the last time I seen a show, you know, and again, you know what I'm saying? Like that show, a black man with his wife, they together and they raising the kids. I'm going to tell her when she need to be quiet. She going to tell me when I need to be quiet. We both get this united front to our children because, again, I'm trying to advise my children, you know what I'm saying? Because now they getting to an older age. My oldest is about to be 30, you know what I'm saying? Like all those things. And my youngest is about to graduate from school, but it's just like this beauty of watching this man and we give it to Wood Harris. Like, it's like, yo, he's killing this role. And the sister that wrote it, you know what I'm saying? Let's not get her. Incredible. But that's what we need more of. So if it comes to a point where we find the young people, you know what I'm saying? And if don't nobody say it, I'm going to say it.